What's up, snitches? Welcome back to another episode of We Want Gossip with Meredith and Steph. We are back this week with a Christmas recap, and it is a time to tell. What a shit storm.
Literally.
And then we got a little bit of gossip of the week.
Yes. So for gossip of the week, we're going to touch on Harry and Meghan. I think the last episode we did, it was like the documentary was going to come out in a few days, and we were giving our thoughts.
Yes.
Now we have watched, and ooh, do I have opinions. And then we're going to talk about... love Meghan. Heart Meghan. And then we're going to talk about Andrew Tate getting arrested by the hands of Greta Thunberg.
Let's go.
Let's get into it.
Okay, we have a gossip update. Normally when we have time off, we're like, how does this work?
No, that was
We are just zinger, zinger, zinger.
It's because we've had like probably a full hour of chit chat.
And maybe a drink and a half.
You know.
It's been a minute since we've also done the
Which
podcast with the
also,
drinking.
everyone...
You guys, shout out to Samantha.
Yes.
Meredith's brother's girlfriend. Literally got this for Meredith for Christmas. With our logo. I mean, anything.
Yes. Well, she got one. Technically, it was yours. Like there were one. That one is yours. It's not both for me. But she was like, I couldn't wait. I'm like, let me just FaceTime her. I'm like, I gotta get it.
I can't believe it. I was screaming. I'm like, anything with our brand and our
I
logo.
know, literally.
And it's also like we never do it for ourselves, but when other people like Antonia, our friend, has made us like Starbucks cups with our logo and stuff, and it's just so cute.
I know, literally, love it. And she did the pint glasses because she knows we're beer girls. I mean,
know.
Heyo.
And that's saying something for Meredith. She's come such a long way. We've said it before. I'll say it again.
That really is my biggest triumph.
Buying beer.
Yes.
Like,
and I will choose that at a bar. I will choose a beer.
Totally. Because it's actually like you can be drinking and chatting, and it's not like one little mixie that's this big, and now I'm trashed off of one. It's not always just to get trashed. It's just like a fun social thing.
Totally. Especially if we're bar hopping, and then it's definitely crucial. Yeah.
Anywho's, let's kick off the Christmas recap. Meredith is going to hit it on the head first because it started off with her debacles.
We both really, really went through the ringer on this one. So let's start off. Steph flew in on Wednesday. And from Steph's point of view, Wednesday, Adam, her boyfriend, was supposed to fly in on Friday. And it was like, the question was posed, do you go home?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, me and his mom were flying first the Wednesday before Christmas. And at this time, it's like up in the air on with the storms coming in across like the U.S., like is Adam and his dad's flight even going to take off on Friday? Should we go or not? And I'm like, it's going to take off.
I literally was 100%. It's everything's going to be fine.
And at the same time, I'm like, I have so many people counting on me back in Michigan. Yes. It's like I ordered all of our presents to my house in Michigan. So it's like, I need to distribute those. Yeah. I've got all my animals back home, like my dog, everybody. I'm like, my dad, my brother, everybody wants to see me. So I'm like, it's okay. I can go. I'm sure his will come through. No, his flight got canceled, but so Adam never made it to Christmas.
Yes.
Him and his dad stayed in Colorado, and I held down the fort in Michigan. Yes. So it was definitely a shit show there. But then we have Meredith.
Yes. So, when Steph got that news on Wednesday, I tried to switch our flight to literally fly out on Wednesday, but it didn't end up happening. We kept our Thursday flight. So we get there on Thursday, and it's like right as soon as we get to the airport, shit storm, legit, just absolute anarchy. We get to our gate, they're like, your flight's delayed 3 hours. Psych! No, it's not. And then we're like, okay. So then they line us all up, and they're like, all right, no one can use the bathrooms on the flight until we are literally in the air. So everyone needs to go to the bathrooms now because we aren't going to be able to go to the bathroom on the flight. So everybody disperses. We get boarded. As soon as we board, they're like, all your flights are canceled in Chicago. Now, of course, I will literally get a different airline, everything to fly nonstop. And when I was booking home for Christmas, all the flights were awful. Yeah. And we've gone through Midway multiple times. Also, side note, you remember the last time we were in Midway in Chicago.
I think I do, if I remember correctly.
You remember.
I do remember. And we were sitting at the restaurant.
Sitting at the restaurant. And we had a very traumatic experience in Chicago, as you might have remembered from a few stories ago.
We didn't finish that vlog from our last time being in Chicago together because it was such a shit show.
So bad.
Not our doing.
No.
But yeah, so that didn't even come out.
When I was walking through there, I mean, like, traumatized. I was like, being in this airport, no thank you.
No.
So anyways, they're like, all your flights are canceled in Chicago. So right then and there, people were dipping off the flight left and right. And it's like,
You have to make a split-second decision.
Yes.
Everybody's bored. Like, is everybody... You have one option. It's now or never. Leave and stay here, or take the chances of flying to Midway and getting stuck there because there are no connections.
Exactly. So what I'm doing is looking up rental cars. I'm looking at the train station because Brett and I have taken the train so many times in Chicago, so I feel comfortable with that. All the trains are canceled. Every single rental car is gone. And they offered probably 3 or 4 times to have people get off the flight, and me and Brett are still like, no, it's happening. We're going to be good.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, my mom, who is gung-ho to drive, I mean, is Jenna not the most down person in the world?
Absolutely.
So it's like, I was like, oh, it's a 3.5-hour drive to Chicago. Like, she'll come get me, no problem. And then it's like, no, the storm is literally happening now. So she would be driving into the eye of the fucking storm.
To get them and then drive back through it.
Yes.
To Michigan.
So then all of a sudden they're like, this is your last chance to get off the flight. And mom, who was down the entire time I'm texting her, is now like, maybe you shouldn't come. Maybe you shouldn't. It's because we were thinking maybe we'll stay in a hotel for a night.
Those are booked.
Yeah, they're booked, and the next day's worse.
There's no rental cars. There's no everything. There's not an option besides Jenna risking it all to come get them. And it doesn't help that this is the night they're flying into, to where me and Tessa are at home fully getting ready, thinking
we're going to
we
the bar.
had planned we were going to our hometown bar, which we never do.
No.
And remember, we'll get into that. We were going to do the mic situation where we were like interviewing people at the bar with our mini mics.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're waiting all day, and like, so like, you're like, we have plans tonight.
Yes.
It's gotta work.
And I mean, I am like just a pouty queen on the thing, because I'm like, because Brett at first, when they were giving us the options, he's like, should we just get off? Should we just leave?
He goes, our kitty's at home.
Yeah.
If Adam set those up, you saying that?
Yeah.
I'm off the plane. Like, then we're going back to our cats.
Exactly. And I'm like, no. I'm like, Tessa's never waiting for me.
We are fully ready. Me and Tess waiting around all day. I felt like the whole Christmas we're just waiting around. Like, and we're like, she's gonna make it. She's gonna make it. Jenna's gonna get her. She's gonna be back in time. Maybe a couple hours later than we thought, but we're still going out.
Yes.
We're fully ready. And if people are dipping on the plane,
I
would be. It's like the effect of being like, then we should be dipping. Like,
and that's the whole other thing, because like we were a fully packed flight. By the time we took off, over 20 people had left our flight. So now they have to recalibrate the plane, and all the computers to calibrate the plane are outside, completely frozen. So it's like, can't recalibrate the plane. And then we got to do the ice bath, and then the bathrooms don't work. Also, the way they fuel the planes was completely frozen shut, so they couldn't fuel the plane. So it was like
everything
such a
is working against them, where it's like, it's almost the universe is telling us, do not go.
Both of us, looking back, would have been not going in hindsight.
If we would have known,
no.
we could have just chilled here and like, okay, super glad we saw our family.
Absolutely.
But what a shit show.
Like, and it just like, it wasn't the quality time we were all wanting.
Right.
Like last Christmas was such quality time.
We had every day planned down to a T of us girls, what we're doing, like, and it all just got ripped from under us.
Yeah. So it's like, by the time we get to Midway, I mean, literally my mom left immediately. As soon as we, like, the plane took off, she's like, I'll see you in Midway.
Yeah.
So it's like, we land, and she's still 3 hours away. And I go, how are you 3 hours away when you left and the flight is 2 hours because of the storm? So we take an Uber an hour out of the city, meet her somewhere, and then what would have been a 3.5-hour drive was 7.5 hours.
And me and Tess are sitting there. We're ready to go. Like, and it is, as the hours are inching on.
Yeah.
We've kind of come to the conclusion. I don't think we're going out tonight, but we still want to be up. So we've sucked down. Me and Tess have sucked down like 7 different tequila pineapples. Elisa, her mom, literally in the minute, because we're all just waiting around. I don't even know what they're waiting around for. Yeah. She had like 4 of them, and she's like, I've never had 4 drinks in my life. So everybody's trash, and it's like. And then we're checking Meredith's location as she's on the drive to Michigan, and it's like 3 hours remaining. I checked 2 hours later. 3.5 hours remaining. And I go, excuse me.
How many times could we physically check GPS and it still said 3.5 hours? Oh. We're like, we are moving and it is the same amount.
And on top of this, Meredith and Brett got up at the crack of dawn, like
2 a.m.
A 2 a.m. thing for the early flight. And with the snowstorm, as they get it picked up by Jenna, obviously it's so bad with the snow. Jenna's freaking out, like, I'm not comfortable driving in this. So Brett is comfortable driving in it. And so they sit in the front. Brett now has to drive those 7 hours back home on top of the entire excursion. So these two exhausted.
Yes. And it was so funny because it was like, I literally was so just like brain dead at the end where it's like I'm cracking jokes, but I'm not laughing. I have no inflection. My mom is getting so confused, like, what? And I'm like, it's a joke. I'm sorry.
I can't speak any more than I have to now.
We were supposed to be like landing in St. John's or like being in St. John's by 5, and we did not get home till midnight. And I'm like, I was so annoyed because even when it was still like 8 p.m., I was still like, I'm going to get home, put some makeup on,
we were still
like,
okay, before 11 p.m., I'm like, okay, 9 o'clock, like,
10 o'clock,
we'll
for
see,
sure.
like, I bet we could totally revamp her into, like, getting in the mood.
Yeah.
Oh, as time ticks on. But then it's also
you
like...
You did definitely turn it around.
Yes, I'm sitting there and being like, okay, none of the options we're doing. Like, she's almost home, like, probably 45 minutes. And it's super late now, definitely exhausted. And then we find out that you guys were driving as well the whole way. I was hoping you were sleeping.
Yeah. No.
And,
which, I mean, because my mom is blind. Like, that woman is blind.
Totally.
And then the snow was just full blizzard and pitch black.
Storm there.
Yeah, that was me. And now Stephania had her own set of issues.
I hate the car. I hate driving in the car, being in the car. Car 6 Central, just like, no thank you. And Meredith can fall asleep on a dime.
Oh, I love a good road trip.
Put her in the car seat and give her a bottle. Give her a binky and her baby blanket, she's fine. We were originally thinking, so now Adam and his dad are still in Colorado. That's not happening. And so me and his mom are our original flights to come back, we thought were Monday after Christmas, right after Christmas Day.
Did she also think that? I forgot to ask you.
Yes, because we had originally booked it thinking that Adam could take off that day, like thinking we wanted an extra day. This was like months ago, and then she forgot that we had the whole discussion in San Francisco that we don't need Tuesday. We actually want Monday instead, like to switch the flight to Monday, and she forgot. And so we're all thinking, and she's booked everything we've ever done. I'm like, normally she doesn't she's a travel agent. I'm like, she doesn't mess up. And but also that's on me too. I wasn't checking, but I wasn't checking because it's just saying Grand Rapids to Denver. And I'm just thinking, that's the day she told me. I'm ready to check in, whole 9 yards. We go to check in Sunday, so it's on Monday. And our flight isn't till Tuesday. And Stephanie's like, it's not that something happened with our flight. It's that I forgot to put it back to Monday. So our flight was originally booked and is Tuesday.
Yes.
And there's no way to get on the other flight on Monday. It's like, okay, an extra day. Like, okay, now it's been like almost a week since I've been gone. And it's like, I feel bad for Adam. And I miss my cat. The whole 9 yards. It was like Christmas without Adam. That's our first time without each other on Christmas.
Absolutely.
And so then I get the call. So our flight is supposed to be now Tuesday morning. That's when Southwest cancels all of the flight plans, everything. And we don't know that it's just Southwest. We don't know we think it's maybe weather, whatever. But so Tess comes over. And that's when you were at the parties all day, all night, or whatever.
Well, because when she texted me that, like, her flight was canceled, I looked at the weather, and it's literally 50 degrees and full sun on Tuesday in Denver.
So it's got to be the weather, you
exactly.
know? Where I'm like, maybe you guys need to figure it out with me, too. And then
I was about to literally jump in that rental car.
Yes. And so I am literally, me and Tess, few blue moons, other things deep. and so I'm in a social mindset right now. We're watching TV, chatty. And I get a call from Adam's mother. And I go, it is late. And we're supposed to be up at like 6 a.m. to go to our flight in the morning. So I'm like, this must be an emergency. Yeah, she goes, our flight's canceled. I'm trying to figure out all of our other options. There is not a single other option besides like on Monday for $2,000 with a layover. And we're like, okay, for one person.
Yeah.
And so we're like, I thought for sure after that phone call, she's going to find an answer.
No, for real. Because when I heard that they were driving, Stephanie and this Steph, literally, I mean, she's a travel pro where I go, there literally must be absolutely zero options.
There's got to be zero options then, because never in our right mind would we be that stupid.
And she also literally, I mean, she's a huntress. So she
would look at every single thing. And it's like, no, it's either we wait it out and now it's going to be, we were supposed to be home Monday. Now we're not going to be home till even maybe next Monday or Friday. And even then we're paying $2,000, maybe one ticket. Like we could stay an entire week and be not stranded because I'm fine at being home with my parents. But at the same time, it's like we could literally wait a whole week and still be stuck here
because they are still canceling flights.
And then still have to pay $2,000 and do all that shit. And so, so when I hear that we're driving, that's the option. I go 17 hours. I've never in my life made the drive to Colorado. I won't do it again, even though it was fun. But like
it's a pretty straight shot. It's not like super.
But you wouldn't choose to. I'd rather have a good time on a flight with whoever I'm with than sitting in a car for that. I'd never choose to do it. And so that's what we do. I called Adam. I go, when Stephanie pitched this to me, I literally thought, this is a sick joke. I'm like, let me call Adam, and Adam's gonna be like, you're not driving. There's gonna be another option for sure.
Yeah.
I call him, he goes, no, that's literally the only option. I guess, do you want to get home sooner or like put it up in the air for much longer? I go, obviously I want to come home sooner. but don't guilt trip me. He's like, no, the option is to drive. And I go, okay, I only called you thinking you were going to be on my side with this. Yeah. There's got to be another way. No, so we ended up driving, and we stopped in Omaha or whatever at this, like, casino, met with his family that drove.
And Omaha, low-key, is, like, a great town.
No, it was super cute.
Omaha is, like, underrated. Yeah. It's, like, actually a great city.
I will say the casino, me and Stephanie were thinking it was going to be a resort. It was, like, it's kind of like the Wynn. Harris. What is that called?
Yeah.
Harris.
Something like that. Harry's?
No, it's one of those big casinos or whatever. It's a resort casino. Mm-hmm. Well, I could walk from one end of the casino to the other in 30 seconds. Yeah. So, I mean, they had a cool sports bar, things like that. Me and Stephanie stuck down a few Blue Moons.
But it's like, it's not like a Vegas. I mean, it's not like the Wynn, where you can walk inside the Wynn for 20 minutes and still be in the Wynn.
Yeah, no, it was not. And we were like, okay. But we're also in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
And, but that was fun. And then, honestly, it was an easy drive. We listened to, like, podcasts and shit.
Because you just have to take I-70, and it's just a straight shot by Nebraska, man.
No, but I'm not kidding. The amount of cars and semis in the ditches within every single mile, it was, we just had to stop counting. We were like, that is so many to where, I mean, semi after semi with cars in between in the medians where I go, there is no way on that snowstorm that everybody got help.
No.
Like, literally, that many people for that many miles, we were literally like 10 hours in being like...
Well, and I have never been in a storm like that. I mean, like, I've driven in some bad weather, but that was next level when we were driving back. I'm like, it was a whiteout, and it's like
even
every
me
car.
driving from in town, like from 10 minutes into St. John's, like from our place, I'm watching people dipping off into the ditches. A FedEx driver fully almost upside down in the ditch. I'm like, and I'm in this rinky-dinky thing. I'm like, remember how long it took me? It took me like 35 minutes to get home.
Yes.
And that's after I slid through the light. And I'm like, oh my God. Like,
so, wow. I mean,
I'm out of breath.
The fact that we even made it home is a godsend.
And I listened to so much, the entire time me and Stephanie listened to Crime Junkies.
Oh.
And I need a lot. I took a 2-year break since the last time I listened to this podcast. And now I need another like 5-year break because that was insane. But I mean, honestly, overall, we made the most of what we were given.
Yes.
But we had a whole different trajectory. But also, we weren't the people that were stuck.
No.
Actually, at the airport with their checked luggage, going to other places. Like, we weren't fully, like, even me and Stephanie were saying, thank God that, like, we have the option and can, like, at least even afford to pay the rental car, to drive it, to do it. Like, and it was even an option. It's like, and we were that pissed. Like,
and I just feel so bad for all those workers, too, because it's like the pilots.
I literally go, that's where you quit. I would literally walk out the doors. It is not worth it at this point. Like, no. And it's not going to get better. It's like I will just literally go to another airline in the future.
And it's like we are actually diehard Southwest. Like we love Southwest, so it's like
of course the one time I'm like, this is normally the go-to.
And like the pilots they just released something in like the New York Times, like a letter that basically like while all this shit was going on, like all these problems with the hub and like all these things, apparently like all the staff have been saying for months, these are going to cause problems. These are problems that we're having. And it was constantly ignored. And then the pilots, because also part of the thing is like no one knew where any of the pilots were with the plane. So it's like, that's why they said our flight was 3 hours delayed because they're like, the pilots aren't here. JK, yes, they are. That's why it got switched. So it's like all the pilots, they're literally in the middle of this shitstorm. And they get like a letter from Southwest saying like, we love you. We care about you. And they're like, enough. We don't love us. Don't tell me you love me. What? It's like literally look at what you're doing. Look at how screwed up this whole thing is.
And that the people that came up with the policy are not the ones having to face-to-face get bitched out about. Like,
I mean, even when we were taking off, the line to talk to the Southwest people
I saw all over
around the block. And when our flight got canceled, I sat on like hold for like an hour until the line literally got disconnected. I go, okay, no problem. I mean, I just can't even believe it. And then like because what was it? When you were texting me, I looked it up because we were flying United back just by chance.
Because I'm like, Stephanie even when we thought maybe still a flight would come available or something, but she's like, let me just get this rental car so we know we have at least a ride. Because those will go too in 2 seconds. And so I'm like, let me text Mary just because we didn't know it was Southwest. So we were just like, let me text Mary because if they're out, like, might as well ride with us.
We were going to literally be riding in that car.
And they happened to randomly be doing United.
Which literally because they had no nonstop flights on the way back from Detroit. And I'm like, I am not taking a layover there and back. I'm just not. I would rather just fly a different airline. And then I looked it up and it's like United canceled 23 flights and Southwest canceled like 479. And I'm like, okay, I think it might be a Southwest issue. So,
my God.
In conclusion, what a shit show.
Literally.
Like, a shit storm.
A legit shit storm.
Okay, also, really quickly, we're going to touch on our favorite gift that we got for Christmas this year, which I am excited because I think I know what yours is.
Of course.
Yeah.
Mine is my blow dryer.
Yes, but I haven't even talked to you about it yet since...
Oh!
So her brother texted me, like, a couple weeks before Christmas and was like, this is, like, the yearly touch point with her brother.
Every
Birthday and Christmas, I hear from Jake, hey, what do I get Steph? And I'm like, yep, here are your options.
Totally.
And so one of them that Steph has been needing for a long time is a new hair dryer, but the Dyson is like $500 and the Shark is like $250.
Right, and I didn't even know the Shark was an option, like the Dyson. And I've been talking to my hairstylist where even like, I don't need the curler, I don't need any of that. It's like, I need a blow dryer that works. And like something like, my hair is so thick that it's like, I'm not spending an hour blow drying my hair. I need to figure out a solution. And when you leave a salon, it's like, I'm always like, how is my hair this soft? And she's like, it's the way I'm blowing it out or whatever. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, so what does a girl gotta do? And to beat the time factor and to like have the blowout look. So Mary's like, look at this little numbie. Look at this Shark blow dryer. I'm like, done deal. Jake got it for me. Jake, he goes, I have never seen somebody so excited over something like this. I was literally screaming. And my dad and Patty are like, what? And Jake's like, it's from all of us. But I'm like, no. I'm like, my dad and Patty are like, what? And I'm not kidding. I ran up. My hair was already blow dried and done. I went back upstairs to get it a little bit wet and redo it. You guys. And so unreal. I'm not kidding. It's got the attachment that has the half, like the half round brush.
Oh. Is it next level?
Oh yeah. It is literally. It's got like so if your hair's soaking wet, you do like without the attachments on it. You can just like air dry it. Yeah. And then you do the attachment with like the normal hair dry attachment. That's like the thin.
Yep.
Yeah. And then so that like you can do different settings on it too. Precision styling. Ew, dude. And then when it's like a little bit still wet up here, like a little bit, like what you would do with your bangs or whatever. You do the whole. Then you finish it off with styling it, and it'll curl it under blow. Oh. I had everybody feeling my hair. I literally go, you guys, my hair has never been softer. It is literally blowout hairstylist.
I'm so happy you loved it.
Jake was like, okay, relax. Like, and I'm like screaming.
But it's like, he doesn't even understand. Like, that is like taking time off your life.
So then, a couple days ago, so now I've been literally purposely showering and purposely blow drying my hair. Where normally I'm like, I try to avoid the heat. And it takes too long. I'm letting it air dry, and then it's a shit storm after that. It's a shit storm. And so then anyway, so I've been overdoing it. And then the other, like a couple days ago, I go, I want to see from soaking wet hair when I get out to it being fully styled, how long will it take me?
Okay.
15 minutes.
You're lying.
No, 15 minutes.
15 minutes.
Fully done. Sopping wet, where I shouldn't have even done it. Like,
guys,
you know,
that takes her an hour and a half.
Like, I would never even, like, I need like 30 minutes to let it half air dry, and then even then it'll take me another 45 to fully blow it out. And it's like 15 minutes. I
can't even believe it. It's like not real.
No. I'm still over the moon. Adam's like, oh my god, like I'm like, feel my hair, like,
dude.
Yeah, well, I did it this morning a little bit, but not as much. Like I didn't like finish styling it, and I let it like over halfway dry, but still.
She sent me a snap when we were home, like my hair has never been softer, and I keep forgetting to ask you about it.
Everybody was like, oh my god, your hair. It was it's the round brush at the end, like that is it's already hooked onto it and it's blowing through it, and so I'm telling Stephanie, Adam's mom, about this on the way home, and she at the same time has also been talking to her stylist about getting like, she's like, what price range should I look at to get a good blow dryer? Because it was about $150. Yeah, and it's like that's about what it was like $160 for the one that I got.
Oh, like, really?
Yeah, it was like $160 because we didn't do the curling iron or anything. It's just the blow dryer with attachment. $160.
Oh,
yeah. I think with tax ended up being like $180 maybe max or something.
Oh no, not bad at all.
And so I'm telling Stephanie this, whatever, and that's when she says she was looking on that price range, wanting a new hair blow dryer, and I'm getting out of our luggage in the middle of the drive, being like, look, and I'm like, feel my hair, like, and she goes, you've been talking about it nonstop. She goes, can you get on my Amazon and go order that for me as she's driving? I ordered it for her, done deal. Yeah, so like that's Jim's Christmas present to me. And so I don't know if she's tried it yet, but it just got delivered, and I'm like, I sold her on that in 2 seconds. Yeah. I'm like,
well, I need one too. Yeah, my blow dryer is $10 from Target.
Mine is like the Travel Mini.
No, mine is the
Garnier or whatever.
Conair. Yeah, so I need one too,
which gets the job done. Don't get me wrong,
of course.
But also it says, which I think everything says it, but like no heat damage.
Yeah,
how is that possible? I don't think I fully believe that, but it does seem like it doesn't frizz my hair like crazy. Yeah. Like before, if I would blow dry my hair, I have to go through every layer and still straighten it, and even then, it's still like not just volume; it's too big and frizzy. Right. This Oh, no.
Oh,
So,
no.
Thank you, Meredith Claire, for putting that little nugget into the system.
You are welcome, lady.
And then what's yours? Yeah.
Oh, I don't even know. I think, okay, I got, like, lots of good things this Christmas. I will say, like, normally the difference this year is I made an Amazon list. So, like, this was a Christmas present. This was a Christmas present. You know, it's like, I never really did that before, so I got lots of good stuff. But I will say, I think one of my favorite things I got is the towel warmer from Brett's mom. Where
what? That's another thing. I'll tell you later.
Okay.
No, good thing.
Oh, good thing.
Not
Okay.
everybody knows those details.
Okay.
I had a fib. I had a fib here and there.
Okay. But yeah, towel warmer, and it all kicked off with my mom. My brother and I got one for my mom for her birthday. And it's like, then I heard for legit weeks how this was the best thing she's ever received, how everyone in the house loves it. David loves it. My mom loves it. Everyone's
one of those
obsessed.
things that you don't know you need until you have it, like a heated blanket.
Yes.
Like any of those things where it's like, you never think you need that until you use it. And you're like, game changer.
Yes. So then my mom is like, you know who needs this is your grandma. You should get one for your grandma for Christmas. So I ordered one for my grandma for Christmas. And then I'm like, you know what? Like, let me just put it on my Christmas list and see, you know, whatever. Yeah. And then Brett's mom got it for me. And Brett and I both, put your pajamas in there, your blankets in there.
Your robe, like anything.
And
it's slippers.
Yes. It is a game changer. Brett and I are like, not even scared to get out of the shower.
I got it for my dad and for Adam's aunt and uncle. My dad and Patty.
I tried it. Oh, yeah.
Oh.
I mean, it changed.
It's game like, where now I'm like, I wish I had more room. I'm like, I need one.
Yes,
like,
and also, if I was to get it again, I'll send you the one that I saw today because it was like more like narrow and like because the one I have kind of goes like out like this. Yeah. More of a pear shape. Yeah. Like the other one I saw was more like narrow and came up like this, and I'm like, that would have been better for my space just because it's like. Where I have to put it in my bathroom, it needs a plug, and like the wall the two walls I would have put it on don't have plugs. Right. So it's like, okay. And I'm not obviously going to have an extension cord across the bathroom.
But we will make it work because it's worth it.
It is freaking worth it. Yeah. I love
My dad literally ran upstairs in the middle of opening gifts to go plug it in and get it started. And he goes, I just need to feel right now because he was about to take a shower. He's like, I'm doing it. And I go, we're in the middle of something. He's out there, go fill the towels already. I'm like, oh my God.
It is like a random little thing that is like just a little luxury.
Yes.
So yeah, that was probably it.
Took a little hiatus.
Yep, my phone was dying, so we caught up on some TikToks real fast, so now we are back.
Okay. Where are we beginning? Gossip of the week.
Yes, gossip of the week. We are kicking it off with Harry and Meghan documentary. So where do we even begin?
Okay, so let me just be honest. Yes. I already told you.
Let me confess.
I haven't finished it yet. I'm on the 4th episode because I haven't had all the time to sit there and watch it. I know Adam wouldn't really care about it, and I want to like really pay attention to it.
Totally.
And so I haven't had the opportunity to fully watch it. But I'm in starting episode 4, but Mare's kind of giving me the debrief. Either way, I know where I stand.
Oh, well, it's so funny because when I was watching the first episode.
Oh, yeah, we need to back it up and explain our thought processes as we went through this.
So as I watched the first episode, Steph hadn't watched it. I watched it over at my friend Allie's, or our friend Allie's.
Right when it came out.
And we were under the influence a little bit, and I was cringed out by, like, literally everything. Both of us were like, I am so uncomfortable.
And you even said, like, maybe it was just the setting I was in. Like, maybe I just, like, was...
Maybe it was the mind frame.
Yeah.
Because then, I mean, Allie literally looked at me and she goes, I hate them.
Yeah, and Mary was like, I really was, like, loving Meghan before this documentary. And you're like, it was so cringe, and I didn't really believe it. It kind of made him look worse. You were, like, not a fan anymore at all. Like, you were just like, no.
It was really the scene that everybody has been talking about, which everyone's taken this one scene too far, where she does the medieval times
and I didn't even really think twice about it.
But, I mean, everyone's taken that too, like, so out of pocket. But when I watched that, I'm like, I was just a little cringed out. But then I watched in a different mind frame, and consider me a fan. Consider me obsessed. I heart Meghan.
Let's go through our messages real quick of how this went through. So at the same time, I know where she was standing with it at first.
Yes, I gave her my rundown.
You were like, it's just like, wait till it kind of gets cringe. Like so I'm watching it, and I'm not telling her what I'm thinking about it so far. And I'm like, I'm loving
what she's seeing.
Hey, Biggly back. What up? And I'm like, I am like totally fangirling. I love Meghan. I love Harry. I'm like, I am believing this. I love it. I was on board. And I'm like, but I also was only a couple episodes in. So I'm like, she's watched more than me. I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop for me to like hate it or be like weirded out. And I'm like, I'm really loving it.
Yeah.
And then I get a text from Meredith Claire Claire over here.
Where, man, have I come around?
And I hadn't even said that I was loving it yet. Wait.
Because I texted you about it, and she was like, I wasn't cringed out at all.
Not
In
at all.
fact, I love Megan.
Okay, here we go. Okay. Oh my god, our messages are so funny. Okay, you go. Also watched episode 3 and 4 of Harry and Meghan, and I'm back on team H&M. And you hate it that they call each other H&M. I'm back on team H&M. Fuck the royal family. And I am at this point totally fangirling, giddy over it, and I go, oh my god, I literally just watched 2 episodes tonight, and I was smiling ear to ear, team H&M. And then Mary goes, oh bitch, if you're on board then you're captain of the motherfucking ship now. Fog, William and Kate. And I go, I'm so glad. I was waiting for the other shoe to drop, and it was gonna suck because I am in. And I go, fuck the Pap. And she goes, oh yeah, 3 and 4 is what went down. Oh yeah, I can't. I go, oh hell yeah, I can't wait. You go, and then like the part
with the 3.
Yeah, the 3. I heart Megan. All caps. Ha! Me too. Guilty as charged. You go, I will forgive her for calling Harry H. I go, well, what's the issue there?
And then Allie, she really hit the nail on the head.
Other people were saying that too in the podcast. Everybody goes, the one thing I can't get on board with is the nicknames of H&M.
H&M. But like Allie made a really good point because like I call my boyfriend B, and the thing is like when I was telling Steph, she goes, what's the difference between
I go,
B?
wait, bring me up to speed. Does Adam add? Like maybe I was being silly.
Yeah, we get a little silly.
Whatever.
And the thing is it's like why we hate the H&M is because like Megan would be shortened to Meg.
Yeah.
Not M. Where like Brett, there's no bruh.
Right.
Like, no
what would
Brett.
Harry be?
Like hair.
I
guess a little bit, or like hair.
But it also doesn't have like the E to it. Like
H.
That's not like B is like a B or like Kitty or
because Allie calls Ethan E, and it's like, but what Eth? It's like that's not shortened of his name.
Meredith, we don't say M because we have Mer.
Exactly.
Stephanie, we say Steph. We wouldn't say S.
Yes, and she's like, that's Allie was the one that like put that piece together where it's like there is nicknames for your names and you're not using them.
Right.
And H, when I hear H, I like read like in my brain I see like AECH, like H, not like I don't know, something's weird. I
see what you mean. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, but I was being a dick. I was being a little bit.
So funny though when you came around where I go, I hadn't even already told you that I am so. I heart. I heart Megan.
Love her.
And I'm still. Do you still stand true after finishing it? Because
if anything, I'm more gung ho now.
Okay.
Because it's just like when you see it laid out from their points of view, and it's like there's 2 sides to every story. Let's not get it twisted, but it's like. It really seems like they were trying the most to make it work. Like, which I don't know if you've gotten to this part yet where they were like talking about the whole paparazzi, everything was obsessed with Meghan. And Harry makes a point in the documentary of saying like, when someone comes into the family and does better than those who are born to it, it causes problems. Yep. And when the switch flipped was when all of the royal family was all at this function together with the Queen, with the, Prince Charles, Prince William, Kate, all the kids. And the next morning it's Meghan's face on the, on the press, everywhere. Right. And it was like for the first time ever, people were polling over the Queen. So it was just causing problems. And it's not like I think the Queen cares. I don't think she cares at all.
You're the Queen of England. Yeah. I think it's fine.
And it's like, but then it shows Princess Diana. And it's when Princess Diana was in this whole thing, that was the same thing. Like, she was the one that everybody wanted photos of. They wanted pictures of her. They didn't want pictures of Prince Charles. And that bugged Prince Charles. Of course. And so it's like, I just think that the whole family kind of conspired against them a little bit because it's like, they were basically saying, like, if we can leave, if we can go and live in a different country or a different place where the press isn't around us, we will still do everything the way the Queen wants us to. We will still, send out the message of the Queen, talk to the Commonwealth, everything like that. And we will live with not the taxpayers' money. We won't even take any taxpayer money from the...
Right.
And it was like every single time they would do that, it would be leaked. Prince Charles says, send it to my office. It's leaked where they're moving. So then it's like, once it's a debate, we can't move there. So then they go to, British Columbia. They're going to move to Vancouver. And it's like, Harry is literally saying to his dad, like, please, like, I don't want to send this to your office. And Prince Charles is saying, you have to send it through my office to get approved. And then it's leaked. And when it was leaked, there was one part of it that was leaked that was like really crucial, where Harry's like, I know this directly came from my father.
Yeah, that was specific information. I've only told one or two people.
And it was like, if we absolutely must, we will give up our titles so we can move. And then it was the next morning, like, Meghan and Harry are moving to Vancouver and giving up their titles to the Queen. They don't want to do the Queen's work. And it's like, if you watch the documentary, Meghan is really philanthropic. So is Harry. They both care a lot.
Yeah.
So it's like, obviously they wanted to still travel around and do the things that the Queen was doing.
It's too damn bad.
Like,
it's
literally.
And especially to where it's like when you see the way that when they're just interviewing, or you're seeing the public, like the public people, not the reporters or the media.
Yes.
Everybody is like, Meghan is what we needed. Like, this is like the change we're like, this is looking up. And like, this was something like, and she goes, and she looks like us.
Yes.
Like, you know,
it's like, what is it? Like 2 million or more, 2 billion maybe of the people in Commonwealth are black. Right. And they were like, Jamaica wants to be out of the Commonwealth. All these countries want to be out of the Commonwealth. And it's like, Harry literally said, like, you have no idea the opportunity you missed with my wife. Like,
absolutely. The media screwed that too, where it's like, that's not even what everybody is even, that's not even the consensus.
No.
But the media, which they were saying was like, over like 90% only Caucasian like people are writing about her, and all this, the racism, where I'm like, I can't believe these articles actually came out, and like how we aren't literally all on the bandwagon to be like, who published it?
Yeah.
Who approved it? And how do you still have a job? Mm-hmm. It's like you can't just get a what?
And like just absolutely terrorizing them.
And the family is also like, and even, I mean, I've only seen, some of it, but like to where, with Meghan, when all of the hate and the racism, like race being a part of it, it's like, she's new. And so when they're talking, when he was like, referencing talking to his family about like, can we get some extra like help or control around like, because they obviously have the contracts with the media that have like that relationship within the royal family, you know what I mean? Of like that they have to have that relationship with the media to kind of write the narratives, but also they have to give the public things. But like, they have a sense of control over what is being said and published and what's being put out. Why is the things that are being said about her just because of her race is way too far. Right. And then everybody in the family's reaction is, well, my wife had to go through that. Like, your mom had to go. Everybody has had to pay their price to be in the family. And he goes, there's a difference, though, because race is involved. Yeah. Nobody was saying racist slurs, or not even just slurs, like messed up shit about you and how you were born. Like, we're talking a whole different ball game here of what's being said about her.
And it's like, also, let's just like, just because like they went through it, it's like, look at what happened to Diana. Why are we being like, oh, they had to go through it, so she should have to too? It's like, really, she was miserable.
How Harry didn't go off the deep end, and then seeing it happen with your wife, and like the miscarriage with all the stress and everything that now she doesn't have a relationship with her father and everything that stemmed from it. I would just be like, this has been a nightmare that I can't wake up from.
And he at least gets to go through it with her. When he thinks about, like, when I think about Princess Diana, when they divorced, she was thrown to the wolves and said, by yourself, deal with all of this. It's like, at least he is somewhat, he's there for Meghan, and they're able to, talk it through, and like they have like genuine love, I think. I mean, I'm not saying that Harry, or I'm not saying that William and Kate don't, but it's like their love is like, he's like, I am willing to put my family before anything else.
Well, and it comes down to the little things that are said too, where even Meghan's like, I'm just with the family, and I go to give a hug because I'm just a normal person, a hugger to greet family, like, and we don't hug. And she's like, okay, I thought that was just, to the public of being, you
like
have
formality.
Formalities to the outside world and everything. But she goes, but it's on the inside as well. It's the formality.
And what I think, and like that actually came back to bite Meghan a little bit in the press, where it's like they showed clips of Kate hugging other people and like huggers, but I go, but maybe it was just they didn't want to hug you, Meghan. Like they were viewing you as a threat, because it's like I said, I really do believe that Prince Charles and Prince William
to the media of hugging people or doing things, but it's like behind closed doors, it's still weird.
Yeah. Like, I totally think that Prince Charles and Prince William were just, like, literally kind of, after Meghan was really in the spotlight, it's like, they just kind of doubled down on the fact that, and it's just like the way that Princess Diana talks about Prince Charles, and like how she's like, he's a very prideful man, but you can only go so long without being, wanted and the favorite and stuff like that. And William is the next heir. So it's like, I bet he is looking at that. Harry and Meghan, everybody loves Harry and Meghan so much, and he's supposed to be the next king. He's supposed to be the one that everybody loves. And it's like, And I bet he viewed that as a threat. And it obviously, based off of like the leaking of things and the way everything panned out, because it's like when they're in Vancouver, they purposely chose an island that is away from everybody, where there is literally not a single press on the island. And then everybody, their locations leaked, everybody's swarming their house, and Megan literally says to Harry, like, they're not going to cancel our security. And Harry's like, never. Especially with the death threats. She was sent, like, literally, like, what is
cyanide,
it?
like,
so, yeah, cyanide in, like, an envelope, like, with all the death threats, the racism, with all these people showing up, like, they would never do that. And then it's like, boom, your security's pulled off. Like, there is deeper shit. And, like,
obviously, like, oh
and
my
also
God.
with Megan, like, Megan, I am like, I just feel so bad for her, because it's like, I know that this is such a family thing, and she is just the catalyst. It's
absolutely. Like, what did she say? What's the thing?
Oh,
of like that when
somebody new comes into the picture, and it's like easy to blame. When you got here, everything changed.
Right.
But then she's like, if Harry wasn't already on his path to being who he was supposed to be, then he would have never even liked me.
Right.
It's like, I'm not manipulating him into things. And, like, that's what everybody says, like, oh, she's manipulating Harry, all this stuff. It's like, Harry was in the military for 10 years and grew up in this. It doesn't really seem like he could be manipulated, like, so blindly by Megan.
He's the prince. He was, like, the number one bachelor, like, you know, where it's, like, he could have anybody, and at the end of the day, it's just, it's such a bummer.
I know. So now Harry has a interview and a book coming out, and like in that they talk about that interaction, because in the documentary Harry talks about William a little bit in the last episode. They don't talk about him a ton, but he's like, my brothers never screamed at me. He's like, my brothers never screamed at me like that. Like, and so now the book is coming out where basically William like actually like tried to like hit him and fight him and punch him and stuff. And I did not realize.
Sorry, Harry could whoop his ass I could whoop his ass.
Apparently, I did not know this. Like, there's this girl on TikTok that covers the royal family, and she does a really good job. She's not biased. She just talks about it.
Yeah.
And, like, I did not realize that William has such a history of aggression. Like, he apparently has done multiple. He has, like, and, yeah, she's, like, not, like, this isn't a surprise that William, you know, tried to attack Harry. And it's like, wait, it is a surprise to me, but you want to know why? Because it's all buried by the press. We don't know that.
Of course not. That never hit the news.
No, that never hit the news. And it's like the way that they protect William and stuff. I mean, in the documentary, once you watch the last 2 episodes, you'll see it's like anytime it comes to William, they'll protect him, but they will not protect Harry and Meghan. And when I tell you, right here, sign, seal, deliver, I am so happy.
H&M, baby.
Yes. Like, I'm so happy that they are free for the most part. And it's like, I know everybody's got their panties in a twist about like Harry releasing a book and all this stuff, and literally what it comes down to is you guys control the narrative so much.
Exactly. And we got the shit end of the stick for no reason.
Yeah.
2 sides were told.
Yeah.
You told our side when that wasn't even true. It made our lives hell. I'm gonna speak up. It's not that.
And the thing is,
they haven't been able to tell their side. It's like,
no. And what he said is like, literally they will like work directly with the royal family to build out the entire story, and then at the end they'll be like, the Buckingham Palace refuses to comment, or like didn't comment, where he's like, you literally built that story, you created that, and then at the end it's like, royal family isn't commenting, but he's like, but it's literally coming from the royal family. It's bullshit. It's bullshit.
It's so bad.
And that's what he was saying, like towards the end, he's like, silence is betrayal. Like, your silence and not sticking up for me and my family.
Yeah.
And like the shit you're posting in the press, it's like betrayal. And also it's just interesting, like the invisible contract. Are you there yet? Where they talk about Harry and William were the first ones that ever grew up underneath the invisible contract, which is like, the press will not write how you are spending millions of taxpayer dollars to live your life as the royal family, but your life is ours. It's mine.
Totally. That's what, yeah, exactly. And their lives would be a lot easier if they would get on, like, just accept his path.
Yeah.
And then made it fit to whatever story they wanted. Or, you know what I mean? Like, why make it that much worse for everybody?
Yes.
You know, it's like, you should have just been accepting about it and then just been like, there's a million ways that there's a bunch of awesome PR people out there that could totally rewrite these stories to a better narrative.
Absolutely.
If that's what we're looking for. When the public, at the end of the day, when you're seeing on the streets the people, whenever they're showing up for like the wedding or anything like that, everybody's like, we love Meghan. Yes. We love it.
Oh,
no.
I am pumped to see this Anderson Cooper interview, and
yes.
I'm also pumped. I want to read the book. I'm like,
I
can
know,
only imagine.
Totally.
I can only imagine.
All right, last one, gossip of the week. Andrew Tate has been
arrested.
Yeah.
Is he out now?
No, well, no, he was on like instead of like 20-day like, I want to say, I just watched it on BFFs today, but like, instead of a 20-day being held, they extended it to like 30, or they extended his being held time of like without bail of being held, because he is, people, I mean, we're speculating right now because obviously he hasn't been convicted fully of what, but he was arrested. It's gone back and forth, but potentially human trafficking, and then like fraud of some sort, or money laundering.
Human trafficking, sexual trafficking, like human sex trafficking.
Money laundering, that whole fraud stuff, but that he's been so vocal about how nobody can ever catch me. I can't get in trouble because I have 1 million passports to every country, or like I have 1 million like
houses,
places.
Like
I'm a citizen or has a passport for every single place. I don't know, and then. But so he was arrested for that. Like, thank God. Where I'm like, and the fact that he hasn't been like released on bail, and they even extended his time, I'm kind of like, they've got to have something on him that's like, I mean, I already knew it, but obviously it's like, what is it? Innocent until proven guilty. But I'm saying guilty as proven guilty. I'm like, either way, just for the way this man even talks about women, speaks, the way he acts, I just want you behind bars.
He essentially made himself guilty. Like, he talks like he literally is like, the younger the better. If they're under 18, perfect. Because like, he's like, by the time they're 20, they're washed up. They've got all their problems from all other men. It's like, oh my God.
It's weird.
You're like 30, 40. What the hell are you thinking?
It's
you
so weird.
Younger than 18? Younger.
It's illegal, but okay. Yeah. Like, I don't even know. And then, but what really kicked all this off, we know it. Greta Thunberg, we love her. She made those crazy, awesome changes when she was like, how old?
Literally like 12.
A couple years ago. Or if she's grown so much.
No, yeah, because what is she now, 15?
Like, if not older. Like, she seemed so much older now than she was when she first, we all heard of her for being like, obviously an activist for like climate change, pollution, stuff like that. So,
and it's not like, the fact that Andrew Tate is baiting her, like, he's coming after her.
You came after Greta Thunberg, who was just like a child activist that actually made some awesome changes for the world.
And it's like, I'm so, like, I get it. Everything with climate change, I know it's like a huge thing to unpack, but it's like
a million different ways.
The fact that like that we can't just make a umbrella statement of let's protect the planet a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Scientists have said
there's a 12-year-old that's willing to just give us a couple things we could tweak to help that out.
Yeah. Okay. It's like, and so you want to come after her because she's saying like all of the nasty car emissions are probably
we
bad.
We just all don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
That there's like obviously the amount of pollution and things, like we don't want to hear it, and that can affect whatever, politics, everything, the economy, but it's like she's just saying the facts here, and here's some
and frankly she's not saying shit. She's not saying shit to you, Andrew.
But this was years ago. I haven't heard of her since this whole, when we heard of her. No. Like, it's like she's been doing her own thing, staying in her lane. The fact that these two paths have even crossed.
Yeah.
And he goes out of nowhere and literally tweets to her, hello, at Greta. I have 33 cars. My Bugatti, blank, my 2 Ferrari, whatever, all this stuff. This is just a start. Please provide your email address so I can send a complete list of my car collection and their respective enormous emissions.
Yeah. So, and there was like 4 tweets. That's one of them. There's multiple of him back to back. Literally, that's the one that kicked it off. Yeah, and there was like 3 in a row of him tagging Greta out of nowhere. So it's like, so you blatantly fucking asked for this, dude.
As if the poor girl.
I understand, like, celebrities are still going to have private
jets. Do you sleep better at night?
You're rich, you're going to still have fancy cars, but we can still, as an umbrella statement, say, maybe it's a probably good idea that we protect the planet a little bit.
That's okay.
Not rub it in her face and be like, hey, actually, can I get your email so I can send you a full itinerary of my cars?
You don't have to be an activist yourself, but why not?
Why are you coming after her?
At least be glad that somebody's being an activist.
Yeah,
somebody's trying to help.
That's impossible, though, for him.
And Greta goes, yes, please do enlighten me. Email me at smalldickenergy@getalife.com.
Yes.
And he goes, how dare you?
I know. Did you see the video?
Yeah. And then the pizza? The pizza
video.
box thing?
Yes. Well, I mean, like, like when someone like is insulted and like they're trying so hard to be like, that's not what was actually said. Like, you got it twisted. Where he like can't drop the fact that she said like smalldickenergy@getalife.com. She actually bit the joke because she gave me her email. Thanks so much, Greta, for giving me your email. And like the retweeting people of being like, she fucked the joke up. She messed it up. And then also the fact that it got like 5 million likes. She's like, that's the most bot-like tweet I've ever seen. Or Andrew, everybody doesn't like you.
We're all waiting for you to get arrested. Yes. Literally on pins and needles just as much as the Idaho murders.
Yes.
I need this man also behind bars. Thank you. Like,
it's like you are the problem. While he's doing this diss track on Greta trying to fucking like make fun of her joke, like, thank you, Greta, for giving me your email, where it's like, I took that as I don't actually give a shit.
She doesn't give a shit.
I don't send it to me.
You're irrelevant.
Literally, like,
your clock is ticking down. You're running out of time.
And so in that video, what does he do? He's talking about how he's not, give me a pizza box. I'm not going to recycle it. But that pizza box is a very specific pizza box in like a very specific location in Romania. And like apparently Romanian police have been waiting for him to like be in the country so they can arrest him. Because
this guy's got the million passports that he's always bouncing around. Nobody can get him.
Yeah. And they pulled up on him and got him in 2 seconds.
And then she even responds being like, that's what happens when then he gets arrested. And she's like, that's what happens when you don't recycle your pizza boxes.
Oh, really?
That was her response. She's like, that's what happens when you don't recycle your pizza boxes.
Oh, my God.
But then I did hear, BFFs at least, they were saying that, it's been speculation of like that the pizza boxes really had anything to do with the arrest. But that's really? That's what we first all saw.
Yeah.
And they were saying like, that's speculation now of like that had anything to do with it. But I think so.
Right. Because like, if he's saying you can't find me and there's a random, like, that would be like in St. John's if we had a Dino's pizza box.
Yeah.
Where it's like there's one Dino's. There's one location. Yeah. So it's like, you gotta be around there.
Totally. Like, and I am just like, I hope he gets what's coming to him. And Greta, girly,
love ya.
You can sleep at night and you did it all right. Like, you played your cards of like,
oh my God, it's amazing.
He's just like, he's like, I mean, we don't have to get into that whole topic with Logan Paul and Jake Paul and that whole thing that's been going
on.
But
the same amount of,
but just like, we're shitheads.
Literally.
Shitheads.
Yes, like
Lyle.
I'm gonna literally...
No. One person you're not coming for, it's Meredith and Greta.
Come here, Greta.
Go in her direction or Greta's direction. Dude. We have tasers now.
Yeah, we do. And I'm literally saving it for you, Andrew. I mean, and like literally when I hear the words that somebody likes Andrew Tate, it's like, that's all I need to know. See ya. Bye. But it's like literally anybody else. When you say you like Andrew Tate, and that's literally what his rhetoric is women are trash. Women,
just a hateful person.
It's like, I'm sorry, you came from a woman though. Right?
At the end of the day, that's what I still literally can't wrap my head around. It's like that men who hate women. I go, then how are you here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Sure. But yeah, wow, what a topic to end on though, because it's
it's like Christmas morning. Yeah. I literally was talking to my uncles when I was home because there's this documentary out called The Vow, and it's kind of like an Andrew Tate story about like this guy, how he just manipulated all these women and all this stuff, and we were talking about it, and I brought up Andrew Tate, and I was talking to my uncles about it, and it's like
did they know who he was?
One of them did, and he was not like, he was on the side where Johnny. Oh. He was on the side of like not, yeah, he didn't know like all of it. He like knew of him, but like didn't know how awful he was.
Probably knows like,
he had seen a couple clips
of
him.
Like, business side kind of.
Yeah, he had seen a couple clips of him, but like didn't really know like how awful he was about women and everything like that. And then like literally 2 days later, he gets arrested. I sent it both to him. I'm like, literally, yup, here we go. Get a load.
Merry Christmas.
Amen.
Okay. Happy New Year.
Okay. That was a really good thing to end on. I was pretty happy about it.
Yeah, a little dark, but really bright on our end.
I mean, I am happy that man is behind bars.
Greta she was already sleeping soundly.
Yes.
Now she's peaceful night REM sleep.
And the fact that it's like, that you were just so butthurt, so offended over the small dick energy at getalife.com. That's the most middle school response I've ever heard.
About it.
I know, and it's like, and you're so butthurt. How dare you? Oh my God.
How dare you? Question mark, exclamation point. All right, Snitches, that is a wrap on this week's episode. Make sure to subscribe, hit like, share with a friend.
Leave a review, and we will see you Snitches next week for another gossip update. Furry Mike.
Covered with hair.
Okay. No.